Good morning. This morning I'd like to talk about and give a demonstration on the Trilogy 200 home ventilator control panel and how to adjust settings. The first thing on the control panel, you have this top line right here. This top line gives you information on the mode that you're in. This tells me that I'm in the passive circuit, or I have a passive circuit, and then it also gives me the time and the date. The next thing that you come across is the pressure diode. The pressure diode allows me to get a readout of the pressure that the patient is getting with every breath. It shows here we're in the ST mode in AVAPS, but because my lung that is attached is not breathing, my ventilator has defaulted to a backup rate because I've put a backup rate in and said if my patient doesn't breathe at this rate, I want you to breathe, meaning the ventilator to breathe. You can tell when the patient takes a breath because a green dot appears right beside the pressure diode. That green dot appears every time the ventilator senses a patient-triggered breath. So then again, if the patient stops breathing and the time has elapsed for the backup rate then will kick in. The next line we come to gives us feedback from the patient. These are patient parameters. These parameters here give us a calculated value of what the patient is doing. And I say a calculated value because we're in the passive circuit, there is nothing that's actually giving feedback of measured parameters to the ventilator for it to display. It gives a calculation based on the leak, based on the flow, and based on how much tidal volume is being placed in, that it kind of senses the values and gives you a calculated value. The next thing I want to talk about, you may ask, well, why is there just patient values? How do I know what the ventilator is set on? Well, that's a good question. In order to get those settings, you click where it says menu right here, and there's an up arrow. On this little button here, it gives you an up and a down arrow. So you'd click this button for the up arrow, and then you can scroll through and find your settings. Here it tells me my settings and alarm. Once I've highlighted that, I click the select button, and then I'm able to scroll down and find the mode, or find all the settings that my patient is set on, as well as if I need to make any changes. So if I need to make a change to the tidal volume, I'd highlight tidal volume, click on the modify, and I say click on the modify because it's the button right below it. So click on the modify and then scroll up or down to change my tidal volume. Once I've got the selection that I want, I click OK, and then I have to click Finish because I want it to accept that change and then exit out of that screen. And now I'm on the home screen control panel again. This button right here will allow you to lock. This button right here tells you that the ventilator is unlocked. There is an option in the menu screen to lock this so that families and patients can't go in and make adjustments to the ventilators by themselves. These features here tell you about the battery. There are 2 battery packs in here, and they charge themselves when the ventilator is being plugged in. If the ventilator is not plugged in, it will run off of batteries. And one of the reasons that the families like this ventilator a lot more is because these batteries last they can last about 10 hours depending on some of the settings. And then this feature right here shows you that there is a memory card in place, and you can take this memory card out and you can download data from it. So this concludes our portion of the control panel of the Trilogy 200 ventilator. Thank you.